Namaste. We will start a sequence for emotional stability. Please practice this regularly to feel the benefits, and now get some equipment ready, like 2 chairs, blankets, belt, bricks, bolster, what you usually have at home for practice. We will start with supported Adho Mukha Svanasana. I will use a bolster to support the head, and Lila will show how to support the head with foam blocks. If the bolster is not enough, you need to add a blanket, you will add the blanket. And if you have difficulty in maintaining the arms straight, please use a belt around the elbows. So you're going to put the bolster on the center, spread your hands wide as for Adho Mukha, walk back, and then keep the pressure of the hands down to lift up the shoulders, lift up the hips, and drop the head. Make sure that when you drop the head, the head immediately finds your support. If you have to fight to reach the support, then add an extra blanket or something. Head has to be supported, but the neck shouldn't be compressed. So don't have too much support or too little. Another way you can do this is with the hands against the wall, so that the hands are turned out and you have the wall to push. You've got to maintain your arms straight all the time. If you can't, go to a wall or use a belt. You've got to maintain your legs straight, so you hit your front legs back, and you keep the hips ascending as the head drops and rests. Remember to insist in the upper arms for them to roll out and not to roll in. Keep your eyes closed. Walk forwards. Put the hands on your hips and come up. Now we're going to do 2 variations of Uttanasana. So for the very first one, you need 1 chair or a stool, full head supported, like so. Stand up with your legs straight and vertical. You're going to lift the hips as you just did in Adho Mukha Svanasana, and extend forwards over the chair and support the full head. In the beginning, you can extend the arms as if you were doing Adho Mukha Svanasana, and after a while you can bend the elbows and let the elbows and forearms rest. Check that your feet are parallel, so your heels are turned slightly out. And lift the kneecaps, lift the front thighs, and lift your sitting bones and hips. Extend well the side ribs towards the hands. And now, if you're crossing the forearms, change the cross. Keep your forehead quiet, your arms quiet. And maintain the strength in your legs. close your eyes and keep the awareness on the breath. Give more emphasis to your exhalations. Now extend your arms. Have your hands apart, your palms turned in. Extend from the waist to your fingers, and now bend your elbows. Open the eyes, push the palms on the chair seat, and slowly come up. Now we are going to take another chair or stool of the same height. You can show this with stools, with two wooden stools. If you have a yoga chair, you might find that the yoga chair is quite low for you, depending on your flexibility, on your height. But then you will build up the support at the sides. If you got two bolsters, you can do it with two bolsters. If you don't have two bolsters, you can do it with blankets, okay? With blankets or foam blocks and blankets, whatever, to rise the height so that your top shoulders can be resting on the support. Okay, so in this case, I just build up these. It's not too high, so I can fit my head in between the chairs. Like if I was going to do Sirsasana on the chairs, and then I'm gonna cut. Maybe we show from the side. So we have, and then I will get my head in. Check that the shoulders reach, yeah? And I'm going to rest the arms, the elbows, and the forearms on the chair, so totally relaxed. My shoulders are resting, my head is dropping. So, you can do this in the middle of the room, or even a safer way will be to do it against a wall. So Lilia is showing like that. Her stools are on the mat, so they shouldn't move. But if you're not sure about it, or your chairs are not too stable, you take your chairs against the wall, and then you make sure that with that they won't move. You put your feet in through the chest. Rest your forearms, rest your shoulders, and let the head simply hang. You might find that in this variation your body lands forwards a little bit. So move your chair, your feet in as much as you can. And then just stay steady and let go. then to come out. Pull the chairs or the stools aside. Walk back and slowly come up. Now we're going to move into Sirsasana, headstand. Those who have ropes at home will do Sirsasana on the ropes. If you don't have ropes, you're going to take the 2 chairs variation against the wall, like Lilia will show. And if you're not sure or you don't feel safe, you know, you got a tutorial on YouTube in which we show how to do Sirsasana with 2 chairs. If you have ropes, you will do the simple variation with the sling in Konasana. If you're doing with 2 chairs, you can fold 2 blankets or 1 blanket, or you can do on 2 equal mats rolled up. That's a nice pressure also on the trapezius. You have to take your back all the way against the wall if you're doing chairs headstand. If you feel like doing headstand on the floor for 5 minutes, that's fine too. So if you're on the chair, make sure the back of the head is against the wall. The back of the shoulders are against the wall. And you can do different variations with your arms. You can either keep them actively pressing down, like you would do here, hand, back, neck. It's a good way to do, or even in the ropes, you know, pressing the hands down, keeping the elbows as narrow as your shoulders. Or if you prefer, you can do like we were doing earlier in Uttanasana with the elbows supported on the chair, as you wish. If you're hanging and your neck is fine, you can do Baddha Hastasana, which is bending the elbows and catching the elbows with your hands. Then in the pose, those in the chair, if you're in the chair, please keep your legs sharp together, actively connected, extending the back of the legs, lifting the upper buttocks, lifting the coccyx towards the heels, maintaining the big toe mounts, pressing each other. And taking your arms active. And then see if you can close your eyes. Then take awareness to the exhalations. If you're in the ropes, if you're on the ropes, feel the natural Uddiyana Bandha happening, the suction of the abdomen. haven't changed the cross of the forearms. Do now. I'm going to stay another minute. Now normalize the breaths and prepare to come out. We're coming off the rope. You can either go to Adho Virasana or you can stay on the rope and rest the forehead and the hands on the wall. And when you're ready, you're going to come out. And we're going to prepare for the next inverted asana, which is also a bit of a back bend chair, Viparita Dandasana. We're going to do it with 2 chairs today, one to support the calves, one to support the back, and we will do it going more into the final pose, which is with all the elbows down to the floor. Many times students don't know because they always do the asana on the chair or the bolsters, but know that Viparita Dandasana is this pose. So we're going to do this on the chair. So you'll need 2 chairs, a blanket and a belt. So you're going to have 2 chairs like this, and then you're going to fold the mat in half and put it on top of the chair. You can also have a mat if you want to over that chair also, but not necessarily. And then you're going to have an open blanket underneath for the head to slide. You can tuck it under the chair legs, right? And then you're going to place the belt, and this belt will help us reach the chair. You're going to place it behind like this, okay? So you have it loose in here, okay? And when Lina set up, I'm going to use this mat as well, why not? And put it on top of it, the other chair. Okay, but that's, I repeat, that's not really necessary. So, as I just showed in Guruji's picture, doing full Viparita Dandasana on the floor, you know, that shows that the position of the head for this pose is like the one in headstand, because actually Viparita Dandasana, you perform it from headstand. So notice I put my legs through, yeah? I'm gonna move forward, rest the back on the chair, rest the shoulder blades on the chair, and then slowly I will slide back until my head is on the floor. As I just said, Viparita Dandasana, Dvipada Viparita Dandasana, it's from the family of Sirsasana. So see my head, it's already resting. The neck shouldn't be compressed, so don't go too much. The head is heavy and your neck is compressed. Go enough
so that the head is touching very lightly. Then you're going to take your arms back, you know, hold the loose ends of the belt and then start walking your hands towards the feet of the chair. You need to keep your elbows rolling in and don't let them widen, yeah? And walk your hands, insisting on taking the outer elbows in. And maybe when you stop, when you can't go any further, or when your elbows reach the floor, but maybe you can reach the feet of the chair. Okay? If you know that you need a belt for this pose around the thighs, you will obviously wear a belt around the top thighs to keep the top thighs rolling in, especially if you have issues with your sacroiliac and you can't control the legs rolling out. Close the belt at the top thighs to encourage the top thighs to roll in. Notice that my calves are supported on the second chair. And I'm going to press my elbows not only in, I'm going to press them down on the floor as if I was doing Shirshasana. If I were in Shirsasana, I will be pressing my elbows, forearms, wrists to lift up the shoulders. So the same way we do here. Press your elbows to maintain your shoulders up. And then close the eyes. Breathe through the pose. Keep stretching from the armpits down the triceps all the way to the elbows. And lift from the inner elbows, your biceps up into your top shoulders. So actually in Viparita Dandasana, the point of support goes a little bit beyond the crown, okay? The head is tiny, slightly tilted, more into the front of the crown than the center. We're going to stay another minute. If you find this too hard, you can try doing this with your legs bent. I show. If I have to bend the legs. This is if you don't have a belt. Yeah, and you can keep the feet on the floor, or if you don't reach the floor, you can put blocks under the feet, okay? And that hopefully will ease your back if you're feeling anything. And now to come out, you're going to bend your legs. You can stay longer if you want. I don't want any of you to overdo. You feel free to come out anytime you need to, or stay a few seconds longer if you feel like. Otherwise, you're going to bend the legs like I did. Press the feet on the floor. Let go of the belt or the chair feet and hold the arms of the chair. Press your elbows. And in one move, you're going to lift up from the chest. Sit back on the chair. And take a moment. You're going to lean forward and rest your breastbone on the chair. Okay? So you want to move forward. So you're going to rest your breastbone on the chair. Right below your breast level.
And just take a moment, easing your back, relaxing your upper buttocks down, resting the sternum on the chair. And you're going to straighten yourself up and twist to the right. Take your feet on level and turn. And do, and turn to the left. And come out and put your props away. We're going to do Niralamba Sarvangasana or Sarvangasana without the hands. So for that you will take your mat against the wall. You will open up a blanket, like we just did earlier, and get the blanket against the wall so that your head will be on the floor. Not on the floor straight, but on the blanket. And then you will need a bolster for the shoulders. But if you don't have a bolster, you always know that you can use 4 foam blocks and a blanket on top, or you can use 2 folded blankets, okay? And then you're going to use another bolster to help you up. But if you don't have a bolster, anything, you know, a couple of foams or a couple of blankets pleated just to rise your hips to help you getting into the pose, okay? If you notice, I left here space only for my head, so it's about a palm. You can take 4 foams like this and put a blanket on top, and then you put a break on a blanket or something on top. We're just showing different variations, although most of you know how to improvise the bolster if you don't have one, yeah? This is Niralamba Sarvangasana, supported, because you can do it in the middle of the room. So you're going to rest your shoulders right on the center of your support. See, the top shoulders are in the middle. I got a bolster, you can see here, on the middle. Not too far back, not too far forwards. And then the hips have to be resting on something, yeah? A couple of bolsters, a couple of blankets, forward bolster, and then you can kick up, pull the head back, just to make room for your, this is better without necklace. And then you can lift your legs up, okay? Shoulders are on, notice there's a couple of fingers there. My head is elongated, and then my feet are up on the wall. I can't speak very well here. You're going to take your palms to the wall with your elbows bent at a 90 degree angle. You keep your legs, everything lifting, legs pushing back, palms pressing the wall. Your shoulders push down, your hands push the wall, your legs push away from the wall. Your legs should be straight, and your breastbone is resting on your chin. You've got to maintain your shoulders away from your ears. And rise your coccyx up towards the ceiling and move it into the hips.
you feel your back had enough already, you can bend your legs, draw the knees towards your head for Karnapidasana. And say another few seconds like that. You're taking your knees to your head. You can relax your arms aside. And then you can slowly come out just the way you came in. Take your hands forwards by the bolster or support and pressing the palms down. Slowly roll down. You can lift your hips and remove the bolster to the left. Slide down and rest your back flat on the floor. You can leave your head resting on the bolster. And now roll over to the right side and sit up.
So now we're going to move into chair Salamba Sarvangasana. So we're going to do now Salamba Sarvangasana followed by supported Halasana, shoulders down, shoulder but supported plow. So you will need two chairs, or if you have chair and a stool, anything that where you can rest your knees on, okay? Lilia will demonstrate Sarvangasana, so watch first so that you see what you will do at home, okay? Before you get there upside down, because you shouldn't turn the head when you're in shoulder stand. So you're going to sit in the chair, take your legs up on the backrest, and then you're going to keep your legs here because this is your safety belt, and you're going to slide down until your shoulders are on the bolster. You take your hands, you slide down. If you don't reach, you can rest a foot on the backrest, one foot, and keep pressing down until your shoulders are well anchored. Only then you can remove the legs, not before. Notice that the shoulders are on the center of the bolster, right? Not too far back, not too far forward. Once you fix the shoulders, you will turn the arms out and slowly, one by one, get the hands under the backrest and extend the legs. Okay? Usually with the folded mat, you're okay. If you're quite tall and you need support like I did, you can fold a blanket and put it under the sacrum and coccyx. In the pose, make sure you press your shoulders down, you rotate the arms, you lift the back and the side chest and the front chest, and you keep the tailbone going towards the heels and into the body, and the thighs at the front rolling in, pressing down. After sometimes you might experience some discomfort in the back, or you feel that you had enough, you can take the legs up into Viparita Karani, legs together or one by one, until they are vertical. See, they're perpendicular to the floor. And the sacrum is resting just like you would do on the bolster against the wall. Another variation you can't take, it's Urdhva Baddha Konasana. You're going to join your feet and open up the knees and rest the outer arches of the feet on the backrest, and your legs will be in Baddha Konasana. After doing this, or just staying the 5 minutes in Sarvangasana, we're going to move into Ardha Halasana. Now I will give you two options of Ardha Halasana today. Either you will rest the knees. If you're going to rest the knees on the seat, you will keep the chair away from you. Lila will show. She will take one at a time the legs back and move the legs until the knees, or move on her own, I won't be there. So she pull the chair so that the knees rest. So notice she put in one blanket. Figure out what do you need to support your legs, okay? So that your legs are more or less parallel to the floor. So this is one way of doing it. If you know the other variation, the therapeutic one, supporting the bridge of the thighs, then in her case, she would need more support. I have a bolster handy here, so I'm going to use the bolster, but you can use blankets. And she will pull the chair all the way against the bolster. She will do it herself. So the feet touch the bolster, yeah? And once the feet are touching the bolster, she again will get the legs through the backrest. That's why it's good, the stool, because you don't have to do these movements with the legs. And she will shuffle the legs until the root of the thighs are fully supported. Once they're fully supported, you will open the arms like this, like in cactus pose, and totally relax. Okay? So either these ones or knee support, but let's start together in Sarvangasana. Lila, you move into Sarvangasana and you can stay there, and I will get them to get in. So prepare your equipment and sit with your legs hooked over the backrest. Lean back. Bring the shoulders down the bolster. And once you're there, take your feet slowly up. Take your arms under the chair seat, between the legs. Roll your arms well. You're going to hold the legs of the chair. You're going to adjust the middle sacrum coccyx on your support and extend the legs. You can rest your heels at the wall, or you just can rest your calves on your backrest. Remember to be on the center of the bolster. If you don't easily reach the bolster, you can add a blanket on top of it. And press the shoulder bones. Leave the front and the back chest. Lengthen your tailbone through your heels and keep your inner legs connected, drawing the front thighs in. If you want to do chair Viparita Karani, you can go now and take your legs vertical. Maintain the legs together and straight. Now if you want to take Urdhva Baddha Konasana, upward bounded angle pose, join the feet, spread your knees out and rest your outer feet on the backrest.
And now we're going to move into Ardha Halasana. So if you're going to support all your thighs, bring your knees together, rest your legs on the backrest, and pull the chair behind you towards you until the feet touch the bolster. You're going to rest your knees only, you don't need to pull the chair that close. Then one by one, you're going to bend your knees back until the knees rest on the bolster, and then you're going to slide your legs, shuffle your legs back, get the legs through the backrest until your legs are supported, the front legs. And then you're going to remove the arms from under the chair, take your arms back, bend your elbows to a 90-degree angle, and rest your elbows outside your shoulders. Rest the back of the hands on the floor. Keep the gaze on your chest and let go. You should not feel any discomfort in your neck. You should be resting on your top shoulders. And your back body, your shoulder blades should be lifting. Your back ribs should be lifting. You should be hanging from that chair. And now slowly to come out, you're going to hold the support on the chair. Slide your legs back. One by one, take the legs back to Sarvangasana, holding the chair. Rest your feet on the backrest and push the chair away from you a little bit so that you can slide down to the bolster. Rest your buttocks on the bolster and your legs on the chair. And then when you feel that you're ready, you roll over to the right side and slowly seat up. If you had enough, because it's been about an hour, you can lie down now in Shavasana. You can do Shavasana too, so Shavasana supported. If you feel like continuing with a few more asanas, we will now do supported Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, supported bridge pose. You could do either bolsters, foam blocks, or a bench if you have a long stool. Okay, we're going to do that now. So put the chairs away. Right now we're doing supported Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, as I just said. I'm using a Setu Bandha Sarvangasana bench.
it could be any bench that you have at home. Sometimes at home you have at the end of your bed like a long bench, or it could be also a little stool. I was saying to Lydia the other day, there's that stools that children go to when they're training to go to the toilet to put the feet on. That stools are very cheap and they're very good for Setuanda Sarvangasana. So if you could get 2 or 3 of those, that ones are very handy. Otherwise, if you don't have these, you can use, like Lydia is doing there, 4 foam blocks, right? 1 on top of each other and then the 2 next to each other. And on top of the foam blocks, she will put a bolster, but if you don't have a bolster, you can put blankets. Also, if you don't have foam blocks, you can put 2 bolsters or rise up the height of the with blankets. And then you will have 2 breaks so that it gives the same height that you have for the feet. Here I just put this to put my feet against. So in my case, you can do this with the bolster. In my case, I do this. I set this with 3 blankets so that my shoulders reach the floor without much of a strain. It's a very strong pose. So I'm going to sit here. I also put the breaks to have my feet against. You sit here like for Viparita Dandasana, and I'm going to hold the blanket so it doesn't move, and slide over that blanket until my shoulders reach the floor, just like we did in chair Sarvangasana. See? So my shoulders are totally on the support. This could be a bolster, this could be foams, and my legs are straight and supported. Okay, I'm going to take the arms out to the side and stay the legs together, pressing the legs down, rolling the arms out, and allowing that the pose lift the chest, lift the sternum vertically as if I was in shoulder stand. Okay, that vertical, you want the sternum, you want the back chest. And then you're going to stay there, you're going to close your eyes, relax the arms. If you experience any pain in the lumbar, then know that you have to rise the height for the feet. So if I would have back pain here, what I would do is to use a brick. I'm showing you improvising here. I would support my feet on bricks, and then that ease up the pain, okay? Or you can also bend the legs or take a leg variation like Padagvanasana or Swastikasana. Take your gaze to your top chest, to the inner chest. And let your breastbone kiss your chin, but rest your throat on the back of the neck. And then after some time, when you had enough, you're going to bend your legs
then you're going to slide back off the support until your buttocks reach the floor. I'm going to use this blanket to support my head so that the head is not hanging back. And then you will bend your knees and roll over to the side to come up. Sometimes after practicing Setvanda, Sarvangasana, the lower back, the sacral experience some discomfort. If that's your case right now, sit in front of your support with your legs crossed in Swastikasana and support, extend forward and support your head. Rest the head on your support. And then after some time, you will change the cross with your legs and extend forwards again and rest the forehead. And then you come up. Next asana is Viparita Karani, one of the yogi's favorite pose because it's very restorative and energizing at the same time. Okay, we're going to do Viparita Karani with 2 bolsters or with whichever support you have at home, bolsters and blankets. We'll show you in a second. So now we're doing Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall. Leah will show here in my spot. I will show you first what I set here. I just put an open blanket and I put a brick in the second position against the wall. And I got 2 bolsters, so I'm going to place 2 bolsters. But if you don't have 2 bolsters, you put 2 folded blankets and the bolster on top. Okay, and if you're not that open or you're very small, stay only on 1 bolster, 1 blanket and a flat brick. Okay. If you already practiced this and you know that this high is good for you, then you're going to get up like this. You're going to sit in the corner facing side with your back against the wall. Imagine the pillar is a wall, and you're going to swivel around. Take your hands down the floor, your feet up the wall, and move your buttocks against the wall, or at least as close to the wall as you can. And once you're there, you're going to bring the shoulders down. At this stage, you will know if this is too high or not. If it's too high, I told you already what to do. Once in the pose, you're going to think of shoulder stand, think of Sarvangasana. Just like I said before, you're going to turn the upper arms from inside out, keep your arms near the bolster, and lift the front and the back of the chest up, right? And the body is in this shape, okay? So this portion of the body, it's almost in Sarvangasana. So you should be moving the spine up and the back dorsal into the front dorsal, and maintain the back of the neck long with the throat relaxed, with the arms relaxed, and your feet hip width apart, totally relaxed. If you have a sandbag at home or a soft weight that you can put on top of the feet, if you have a bolster, you put the bolster, and then you totally relax. If you have the tendency of turning the feet too much, you can always put a belt around the outer arches of the feet, and then you relax, okay? To come out, you will bend your knees, push the wall, just slide off the bolster, hold that the bolsters don't move, and once your buttocks are flat on the floor, you're going to cross your legs on top of the bolster
and stay there for some time. Then you're going to change the cross, and then you're going to roll over to the side, and from there to come up. Okay? So get your equipment against the wall, thank you, Lilia, and sit on the side. Remember to leave always a break, or at least a space between the bolster and the wall, and roll up. And then once you're set with your buttocks against the wall, move the shoulders away from the head, roll your arms out, extend the heels up, the toes down, push the wall with your legs, and then relax, soften the throat, and let the position of the body, the asana, the gravity center, everything weight, the props, do the work for you. Have room and you feel like spreading the legs out in a V shape, in Upavishta Konasana, you can do before you come out. I'm in a pillar so I can't, but you can extend and spread the legs out in Upavishta Konasana. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly bend your knees, push the wall with your feet, push the bolster with your hands and slide down totally off the support and cross your shins on the bolster, get some rest. And then after some time, change the cross of the legs. And then to come out, bring your knees together, roll over to your right side, push the floor with your left hand, and slowly come up. That was Viparita Karani. Now we will do a forward bend to go on finishing the sequence, Paschimottanasana. Lilia will demonstrate in here. We will do with head support. It will be a bolster, but if the bolster is not enough, you can have a chair or a stool to support the full head. Paschimottanasana. Lilia will demonstrate with the head supported. So you might know what you need. You might need one bolster, two bolsters, or a chair. So you're going to sit up tall on a folded blanket, pull your buttock flesh, spread your back, thighs away, and you're going to place the bolster on top of the shins, and she's going to reach over to hold the feet, extend the spine upwards, and on the exhalation she will bend the elbows and rest the forehead. If you feel that the head is sinking a little bit, like it's here a little bit, you can add a blanket, or you can add a second bolster, because this is supposed to be really restorative. And then, as you can see, the back of the head and the back of the chest are level, and that's what you want in Paschimottanasana. You don't want your head going below your back chest. So you're going to move forwards from the sides body, take your chest down, press your legs down, move the armpits forwards, and rest the full head. So if you need to move this further forward, you rest your elbows, bend them, hold and rest. If the two bolsters is not enough, you can do this over the chair. Okay? So Paschimottanasana with two bolster, one bolster, or a blanket, or a chair. But make sure that you do what I just showed with Lilia, that the head doesn't come below the level of your back chest. Okay? So I recommend you to at least have a bolster and a blanket, minimum, if you're too flexible. Okay? You're going to lift your spine, press your legs down, and as you bend the elbows, you move from the side body forwards, hold the feet, rest your bent elbows, rest the full head.
bolsters aside. For Shavasana 2, you will have a bolster for your back. If you don't have a bolster, have a folded blanket. You have a folded blanket for the head. And if you have an extra bolster or more blanket or soft weights for the legs, you're going to use them. The weight on the legs not only helps the nervous system calm down, the body relax, the muscles relax, but also helps the lungs expanding and opening. So you're going to lie down in front of the bolster, yeah, with the buttocks moving away from the bolster. You're going to lie down on the bolster so the neck is supported, and then again you move the top buttocks away from the bolster, the shoulders away from the neck fully supported, and then when you extend the legs, you can put your blankets or your sandbags on top of your thighs. You put everything you can. I'm putting my 3 extra blankets and my extra bolster on top of the thighs, and then letting my legs roll. Then I'm holding the sides of the mat and pushing the mat forwards a little bit so I can slide back with the upper body, and there's more traction in the upper back and buttocks. Then you're going to roll the arms out to the sides, turn your palms up, and close the eyes.
slowly start deepening your inhalations. And your arms, bend the knees, move the bolster and legs wide to the left side. And now roll over to the right side. Stay a little bit on your side with your legs bent, with your side body resting. And then slowly open the eyes, keep your gaze down. Press your left hand to the floor and sit up. And that's all. Sit up tall. Relax your shoulders. Join your palms. And bow the head. Namaste.